And now we are in the second part of your manual, your consulting report. Here you have totally different goal. Your goal here is to prove your value, to prove that you are professional. If in the previous part, in the case, you didn't share your opinion, you just reported data, here it's actually place for your opinion, for your professional opinion. So let's do this. And once again, on the right part of the slide, you see the structure of your consulting report, of your consulting manual. The only part which is not required, it's an epilogue, but everything else must be here. And on the left part of the slide, you see 4 rubrics: rigor, logic, relevance, and presentation. And similar to the case, each rubric relates to this or that part of your consulting manual. Now let's dive in. So you start your consulting report with synopsis and keywords, and this is where your rubric number 1 is located. What you do, you take your the challenge from the case, but translate this into professional language. Use terminology. Instead of saying the same what you said in the case, use words like it's a challenge, organizational development challenge, or international business challenge, or project management challenge, etc., 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 because this is how you put a stamp of who you are as a professional, who you are as an expert, and it's extremely important. And do the same in the keywords. Besides professional area of expertise, also don't forget to mention geographical area of your expertise that will help other people, the readers, to locate your area of expertise. So we are still in the rubric number 1, rigor, but now we are in the second part of your consulting manual. It's a methodology. Look at this methodology and divide this into 2 sections. Number 1 is research methods of data collection. How you collected data. Just a very simple way. Describe how many interviews you had, how you collected secondary data, etc., etc., etc. And move to the framework of data analysis or conceptual foundation or applied framework. Use 1-2 frameworks. Don't use many of them, which you later will use for case analysis. It might be any leadership concept. It might be stakeholder analysis. It might be 5 forces for competitive analysis. It might be any well-known frameworks from the textbooks, or it might be customized or special from professional journals. Whatever you use, all good. Just describe this and don't make it too long. It's around 1 page, but make sure that we know that you are ready to analyze this data, fuzzy data that we have in your case. Okay, so together, synopsis, keywords, and methodology, it's all together rubric number 1. So after judges evaluate rubric number 1, they looked at your synopsis, your keywords, and methodology. Now they moved to your case analysis, which usually located right after methodology. And here what you do, you use your methodology, your framework, what you just described, all dimensions of the concept you use. 5 forces, it will be 5 forces, or it would be strategic analysis, it would be dimensions of what good strategy versus bad strategy, or it would be pestle, or anything what you used in the case, leadership theory, dimensions. And then you take the case information and you put this information from the case to this or this shelf from your framework. So it becomes kind of almost a grid where this one is your case and these are dimensions from your concept. And it will help you to understand where the gaps between what company is doing right now and what is supposed to do based on your theory, or where the matches between market opportunities and company strengths, etc., etc. This is what logic of case analysis. The judges must understand your logic and must respect this logic behind your analysis. And I recommend usually at the end to summarize your case analysis in some kind of summary and a visual summary, and help judges to see kind of like your aha moment, what the company, what your protagonist is missing, and what may be the decision the protagonist should make, and you can recommend this. The logic, rubric number 2. And now we naturally comes to the next rubric number 3, which is the relevance of your recommendations. Yes, recommendation located right after your case analysis. In your recommendation, make sure that it's relevant to the challenge. Remember, at the beginning of the case, you describe the challenge. You must answer the question your protagonist had at the beginning. So answer this question, and it will be your main recommendation. If the client was thinking which next market I should enter, or how can I raise funds, or how can I make my theater production more sustainable, etc., etc. It was the challenge at the beginning. Now it's time to answer this very directly. After this main recommendation, provide sub-recommendations which will help your protagonist to implement, to understand and make realistic your major recommendation. For instance, in the cases I help my students and my partners, usually international business, so the first recommendation will be which market to enter, this market or this, and we say enter this market. You asked us, we answer. Relevant. And then we say to enter this market, must be, we recommend this market entry mode, this global strategy, this positional strategy, etc. These are sub recommendation. And it's a very good tone if you summarize your recommendation with some implementation, how exactly it's going to work. It might be budget, it might be action plan, it might be HR solution, whatever you believe is right. It must be relevant to your challenge. And I didn't say about the last rubric, presentation, but you kind of understand that it must be table, it must be very logically presented, must be easy to follow, etc., etc. So, typical mistakes. If you look at the synopsis and keywords, it's sometimes, again, the copy of your challenge, which is not how it should be. It must be professional language of you as an expert. Methods and frameworks very often is missing. So make sure that you say that research methodology, how you collect data, and what's the framework. And don't use more than one framework. It's confusing for you, it's confusing for judges, because you need framework just for one reason, to analyze your data. In analysis, it's a kind of like bumbling sometimes. Sometimes like it's a little bit about this, a little bit by that. So make it more concise, relevant to your framework, and think why you are doing this case analysis. You do this case analysis to find the gap or to find which option is better. Case recommendations, typical mistake, it's not relevant to, it doesn't answer the closing hook of the case, and it's not related to the opening hook of the case. Make sure that these three are very much as a triangle. Opening hook shares the challenge, closing hook in the case defines the decision to make question, and now finally your answer this. And presentation must be professional report. It shouldn't be essay when you write and write and write. Teaching cases sometimes are written like this. This is the first question we discuss in the class, the second question we discuss in the class, the third question we discuss in the class. But consulting report must be very, very much on point, because once again, you generate your value and you prove your value. If you feel overwhelmed, don't. Just reminding you, you have all these resources and they will help you, and you have enough time and you already have your first draft. So no drama, just use your resources and it all will work out, I promise. Okay, after you follow all the rubrics and evaluated your own case, look at all typical mistakes and make sure that you don't have them, your case most likely is ready to be submitted for the Making Your Consulting Case competition. This is how you do this. So you submit 2 documents. Number 1, it's a submission form where you put name of the case, your name, and how we can contact you, all the case authors. If this case was developed in this or that class, and for instance your professor participated, etc., you can include here the acknowledgement of how the first version of the case was developed. It's your appreciation, etc., etc. This is the submission form. Then the whole document is a big long document that have first the case and then consulting manual as one document. Use a Calibri font 12, 1.5 space for the whole document, but for the tables and exhibits, use Calibri 10, smaller, and only single space. And submit this to my email before January 10. Then in January, I will send all your cases to industry leaders, industry experts in the area of your case, but also you also will receive 1 or 2 cases for reviews. The opinion of other authors will be counted as one voice, and the opinion of industry experts will be counted as 2 voices. And actually, I do this for also helping you to understand what the good cases, bad cases, how they separate, how they differentiate, and become better in your own professional journey. In February, I expect we will make decisions, and in March, we will meet you in the Case Writer Association conference for the award ceremony. However, if you cannot come to the conference, no problema. Your case still will be counted, and with the same rules of every other case. Once again, I'm Dr. Julia Ivy, and I am the founder of BH Strategies for the Future of Work. Because this tool, Making Your Consulting Case, it will be the instrument that you need to differentiate yourself from the operational core, which very often moved abroad to the much cheaper workforce, and you must be different. So how you differentiate from operational core? Through your ability to solve problems, local problems, and having a proof that you can solve problems from the beginning to the end of the market you work for. You also have to compete with AI, which is so good in any operational task, right? And just provide tons of information with a second, and obviously much cheaper than us. But can AI develop social capital, personal trust, professional trust, connection? So far, not yet. That's why the case is so important, and the consulting report is so important together to make you the talent for the future of work. Please stay in touch with me and this is website, and let's do it together. It's just the beginning. After the first case, all other cases will be piece of cake. Looking forward to your submission.